Good morning, everyone, and welcome. It's Friday, the 3rd of December. My name is Zoe Sturgeon, and welcome to our Friday edition of Good Morning North Coast. We are going to be starting today's show with Prathisha Singh, bringing us our daily dose of inspiration, and directly followed after that we will have Heili and Deon bringing us the weather and surf report. We have a jam-packed show for you this morning with guests Mandy from the Beauty Box and Warren Loader from Thoughts of a Middle-Aged Man blog, Alister from the Ballito Ski Boat Club, and Karl from Salt Rock Coffee takes their seat and will be chatting to me about the big fishing competition that will be coming soon, followed by an interview with Sharon Sinclair from Chandramala. Our last guest, Salmon, will be taking all things designer Wouter Ballito before we head into our sports with Matt Williams. I will give you some of my weekend vibes, which is the entertainment that is happening for the weekend ahead. Our music video showcase will shortly follow after that. And that leads us right up to our first interview for this morning, which is Prathisha. Welcome.
Morning, Zoe. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. I'm always curious to see what you've got for us, so take it away.
Yes. So today we're talking about releasing yourself from the shackles of 2021 and igniting your fire for 2022. So the way that works, though, is we need to learn the lessons from 2021, right? And I'm sure, I know I'm in this boat, and I'm sure most people are, and you are too. We have our shoulds and we have our shouldn'ts, and this shouldn't have happened in 2021, and this should have happened. I should have done this, she should have done this, he should have done this, you know? So I like to call this our shoulds and our shouldn'ts, which are basically our judgments of the year, okay? So to move on to 2022, if we don't deal with what happened in 2021, we will just perpetuate the same patterns in 2022. So if you're in a bad, rough relationship in 2021 and you don't learn the lessons and move on, it's kind of impossible to be in a good one next year, right?
It is, yes.
And it's the same for all your goals and all your aspirations. If we don't unpack what happened in 2021, how do we change it and rewire it for 2022? So that's what we want to talk about here. So I invite you to painfully have a look at your shoulds and your shouldn'ts and what happened and what didn't happen and what went right and what went wrong in 2021. Learn the lessons, but be compassionate and kind with yourself. Release those judgments. I mean, we all tried our best, right, in 2021. I'm sure the universe even tried their best in 2021 for us. But things don't always go our way, and acceptance is key. So if we want to release it, we need to kind of accept it. So everyone is familiar with the phrase, it is what it is, right?
Yes.
Now, but when you say, in all honesty, I want you to think about something that happened to you that you're not happy with, and say it is what it is. Don't you kind of have a bit of a negative, like a resignation or I give up kind of energy?
Yes.
You do, right? Let's all be honest with ourselves. We've all tried this.
Yes.
We all know the theory behind it, and we should be saying it is what it is. So I invite you to say, it is what it is, and it isn't what it isn't. Because what the mind does when you say it is what it is it fills the gap up with negative stuff.
Yes.
It is what it is, but, and your mind will fill it in. So when we say it is what it is, and it isn't what it isn't, it stops us from blowing things up, because we love blowing things up, right? We're like drama queens all on the inside.
Molehills into mountains.
All of us, we love it. It's a human tendency, so it's not just you at home, and it's not just you, and it's not just me, it's all of us.
It is.
So I invite you to go on that little journey with yourself, and just, it's a bit of retrospect, you know, go back, reflect on the year, take the lessons, adjust your path, so that next year you can ignite your soul's fire.
Sounds amazing.
And next year, when you're thinking, when you've released the stuff and you're now on this literally clean slate, you will be on a clean slate once you've released the past.
Yes.
Then you can start thinking about, where do I want to put my energy in 2022? Where do I want to get my joy from? What do I want to do to make 2022 the greatest year ever? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense, getting rid of that luggage.
Yes, exactly.
Freeing up some space for some new
that
luggage for next year.
Yes, make the space.
Otherwise
exactly.
you'd be overflowing and inundated. What an amazing lesson that is. Thank you so much. I think Also heading into the new year, we're all planning what those New Year's resolutions are going to be and if we are actually going to stick to it for longer than just January and February.
Well, I hope so, and good luck with that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Prathisha. Look forward to having you back as always. All right, guys, we're going to be heading into a little ad break and then we will be back after this. I believe the weather and surf report will be coming up soon. Thank you.
Good morning everyone and welcome to your weather for today, brought to you by Ballito Gas and Bright. We have a cloudy day today with occasional rain and drizzle in the morning, followed by a shower in spots in the afternoon with a high of 23 degrees and a low of 19 degrees. The real feel will be 25 degrees and the real feel shade 23 degrees. We also have a southerly wind at 11 kilometers per hour and wind gusts at 19 kilometers per hour. 86% chance of showers today. The sunrise will be at 4:48 a.m. and the sunset at 6:37 p.m. Saturday, cloudy and humid. A shower in spots in the morning, followed by rain and a thunderstorm in the afternoon, with a high of 23 degrees and a low of 21 degrees. And then it's remaining cloudy and humid on Sunday, with a little rain in the afternoon, with a high of 25 degrees and a low of 21 degrees. Ons het 'n natterige naweek, so dis 'n goeie verskoning om dan 'n makeel nat te maak ook. Pretoria, meestal bewolk daar vandag with a high of 31 degrees and a low of 21 degrees. And then Joburg, turning cloudy with a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon, with a high of 28 degrees and a low of 18 degrees. Cape Town, times of clouds and sun throughout the day, with a high of 21 degrees and a low of 16 degrees. Gister is 'n mondvol. Next up will be your surf report, brought to you by Tina Tin Skryfbehoeftes and Deon from the Cruise Surf. Enjoy your weekend and be safe.
Good morning, Ballito, and welcome to Friday morning's beach report and an overview for the weekend. And once again, a pretty cloudy Friday and light variable winds, but a lovely surf around. That westerly that blew last night definitely pumped in a little bit of swell. So nice little waves on the main beach and all of the beaches actually in Ballito. Really good fun surf for the bodyboarders and the surfers, and that will continue into the weekend. Saturday is also light variable winds in the morning, but 100% cloud cover. And later on in the afternoon, we've got quite a lot of rain expected. That'll settle the ocean nicely, but westerly breezes all day long and definitely some good surf. Not great beach weather, but definitely nice to be in the ocean with 23-degree water temperature. Lovely days around, but not too much sun this weekend. That rain will continue into Sunday and also keep the ocean nice and flat and nice and glassy. So good surf for the next 3 days, guys. Enjoy your weekend. It's Christmas time and lots of surf around. We'll chat again on Monday.
This sports segment is proudly brought to you by Hunt Properties. Morning sports fans, let's kick it off with some football news. And Mohamed Salah scored twice as Liverpool showed no mercy on former manager Rafael Benitez to leave the Spaniard clinging on to his job as Everton boss after losing the Merseyside derby 4-1. The Reds have won just one of their previous 9 visits to Goodison, but were in complete control from the first whistle against Benitez's men, who have now just taken 2 points from the last 24 on offer in the Premier League. In other results from Wednesday evening, Aston Villa 1, Man City 2, Southampton 2, Leicester City 2, Watford 1, Chelsea 2, and West Ham and Brighton playing to a 1-1 draw. Coming up in some local DStv Premiership matches this weekend on Saturday in selected fixtures, 3 of them kicking off at 3:30. Chippa United host Arrows, AmaZulu tackle Royal AM, and Swallows host Maritzburg United. At 6 p.m, it's Kaizer Chiefs against Cape Town City, and in the late game, it's Stellenbosch FC against Sundowns. One match to look forward to on Sunday at 3:30, it's SuperSport United against Sekhukhune United. Moving to some rugby news now, in case you missed it, South Africa front rower Trevor Nyakani is leaving Currie Cup champions the Bulls to join French club Racing 92. The South African franchise announced on Wednesday the 32-year-old has won 54 caps for the Springboks and has played regularly at both loosehead and tighthead prop at club and international level. Nyakani was part of the South African squad that won the World Cup in 2019, although he was injured in the tournament's opening game. He will sign a 3-year contract and arrive in France later this month. In some United Rugby Championship fixtures to look forward to this weekend, coming up this evening at 7 p.m, it's the Sharks against the Bulls, and then on Saturday at 5 p.m, the Stormers host the Lions. And in some cricket news, some international fixtures to look forward to in the coming days. On Friday, starting at 6 a.m, it's India against New Zealand at the second test. On Saturday, also starting at 6 a.m, it's Bangladesh against Pakistan in the second test. And finally, some golf news, some golf to look forward to this weekend as well, some local golf in the Sunshine Tour, the South African Open, and across the pond in the States, it's the Hero World Challenge. I'm Matt Williams for Good Morning North Coast Sport. You have yourself an awesome sporting weekend, and we'll catch you back here next week.
back, everyone, and we are joined with our regular Warren Loader from Thoughts of a Middle-Aged Man blog. Welcome back.
Morning, thanks for having me.
Of course, we always love having you, Warren. And what fantastical story do you have for us today?
Okay, so today is about, it's called Voortrekkers in Mhlali. So yeah, it's a rather different story to what the regular story is. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, we decided one day to go and do a couple of explorations around the area with a friend of mine, Brandon. And on our way back, we still had some time, so we popped into the graveyard or the cemetery at Mhlali, just to see if anything was there of interest. We always pop into cemeteries because that's where famous people are.
That's where you find all your exciting stories.
Yeah, that's where we find our stories. Yeah, dead people tell stories, which is quite interesting always. So, yeah, we stopped in there, and it was quite bad really, because it was really overgrown and had been really neglected for a long time. And it was sad because a lot of the graves were from pretty much 1940 to 1980s. So there were still families around that would have gone on occasion to go and visit the graves, and it was really in a shocking state. And after writing the blog, I actually got a phone call from Privy. You know Privy, everyone in Ballito knows Privy.
Everybody knows
And
Privy.
she says, no, this is not on. So the next week, the whole graveyard was cleaned up and cut back and sorted out, which was great because that story actually made a change, which was excellent. But we're back here again today, and it's in need of more work. So Privy, if you're out there, we need to get it sorted out again.
We need you, Privy.
But yeah, anyway, the story around it was we were walking around and there wasn't very much of interest except for a little corner where the older graves were. And I just sort of like walked past this big obelisk, not thinking very much of it. And Brandon said to me, he said, hey, this woman's name is Maritz. I wonder if she's not a relation to Gert Maritz, who was the famous Voortrekker leader. And we thought, no, it can't be. What would a Voortrekker person be doing out in Ballito or Mhlali, of all places? Yeah. And we looked at the date that she was born. She was born in 1929. And it sort of like tied in that she could have been the daughter of Gert Maritz. So I went back and did a bit of research, and in fact it was. She was 5 years old when they set off on the Great Trek. And by the time she got down to Escort, half her life she had spent trekking in an ox wagon around Southern Africa.
That's insane.
Yeah, very interesting story. She ended up, her dad died, and her mom decided to move to Pietermaritzburg. And at the age of 15, she got married. She got married to a German guy called Karl, who, interestingly enough, on the tombstone, she didn't take his name, so she kept her name as Maria Maritz. And if she had changed her name to his surname, we would never ever have known that she's buried there. And we still don't know how she got buried there. We don't know the story behind. I've asked people many times if what did they have a farm here or what the story was. But her husband was a land speculator, so we're presuming that he worked in the sugarcane industry and lived around in the area.
Okay.
But yeah, no, to have a little girl that spent 4 or 5 years of her life trekking from the east, from the Swellendam, I think they started off, all the way up to Winburg, to Heilbronn, to up to the Vaal River, over the Drakensberg, through to Escort and down to Maritzburg, and being married at the age of 15. Her story must have been an amazing story.
Yo.
Yeah.
That is insanely young. And I just love that the coincidences worked out, because in that time women weren't necessarily carrying their maiden names. I mean, on my ID I still have my maiden name, but a lot of women weren't doing that then. It probably wouldn't have been like acceptable. But I mean, thank goodness, otherwise you wouldn't have found.
Yeah, it might have been a status thing, that she was a Maritz, that she wanted
rather
to
show off the status.
Yeah.
Which has worked out.
Yeah, perfectly.
It worked out
and
perfectly.
who would have thought here in this little village of Mhlali?
I know,
Yeah.
There's history everywhere, but we do have a rich history here on the North Coast, which
Yeah,
is why
no.
we're so grateful to have you.
And we've just got to go out and look for it. It's there all around us. We've got to uncover it. Yeah.
So open our eyes and have a look. That's phenomenal. Thank you so much, Warren.
Oh, pleasure.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to having you next week as usual. And that is all we have time for Warren, unfortunately. But if you want to see more of what he's got online, you can look him up. That is Thoughts of a Middle-Aged Man blog. And we are going to be moving on to an ad break. And we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone. We are joined on the seat today. We've got Solstra Coffee Company on the couch with us. Welcome, guys.
Good morning. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Let's start. Obviously, the name Solstra, that gives you away, so we know where you are. But let's go into a bit more depth. When did the Solstra Coffee come about?
It started 2018. So I think most of the people know the long and short of the story about the coffee trailer on the beach.
Yes.
And it's grown from there to 3 stores now.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, and the 3rd store opened last month at the new Odyssey Mall. So that's exciting.
That is so exciting. Awesome. Congratulations,
Thank you.
guys. Awesome. And let's talk about what's happening here. Obviously, you guys are our very proud coffee sponsors. We practically live off that coffee on a day-to-day basis, I must
That's
tell you.
good.
We're all like buzzing around the office. But let's talk about, I hear that there's some events coming up. A competition of sorts?
Yes, so I'm one of the sponsors of the competition, but Alister is the main organiser for the King of Salmon Bay fishing competition this December.
Yeah, so I've got the privilege of heading it up. I think I've done it now for 4 or 5 years. And it's quite a prestigious event, smack bang in the middle of Ballito. I've made it a little bit more condensed this year. I think we've maxed out at 31 boats, which is about 90 people or 90 anglers. But yeah, the community looks forward to it, I must say. It's well supported by our sponsors and everyone that backs Ballito, should I say. And it's actually become quite a good event on the sort of fishing calendar, if I'd call it, for the year. And also being in December, you know, the guys are in the holiday mode already, you know, it's a good time with the family, lovely facilities. So
Yes.
yeah, nice to head that up and looking forward to arriving soon.
Yeah, that's exciting. And for anyone who wants to get more involved in this competition, how can they go?
Well, they can give me a shout, Alister. I'm just thinking, what's the best
Facebook.
way? Facebook, yes. Instagram, there is a at Ballito Ski Boat Club.
Okay.
So a lot of our information, photos comes through there. But something to see, you know, especially Salmon Bay is probably one of the toughest launches in South Africa, actually. And I think it's, for the community, it's very nice to watch the boats going in and out.
It
You know,
is.
that level of excitement is there.
Yes. Will they make it?
I mean, we make T-shirts that go to all of our sort of competitors that say, I survived Salmon Bay, so it can give you an idea of what actually it means.
I think we all
Yeah.
see those viral videos that go on Facebook of when the
Yeah.
day that somebody just didn't happen. And it looks, obviously it would be quite exciting for the audience, but quite scary for those actually on the
Yeah.
boat. But it would make for a good spectator sport, I suppose. And I suppose fishing, usually from a woman's perspective, fishing usually has this, oh, my husband can sit and fish for hours, but it's like boring to me. So
Yeah.
this would help make it more exciting. I
Well, you
suppose.
know, luckily enough, Ballito is a special place, and you know, even for the ladies that jump on the boat, there's all the dolphins and whales and whatever else sea creatures that are floating around nowadays, and very close to shore. So there is something to keep you all entertained while the hubby fishes. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic, thank you. Now, before we close this interview, is there anything else that either of you would like to add?
Yeah, look, we just want to thank all the sponsors and actually make a point of the community involvement as well. 'Cause it's not just, I think Alister will back me, it's not just a fishing competition.
Yes.
It's a business-orientated event. So if you look at who all the sponsors are, there's a lot of local businesses that are involved. It's not just get on the boat and go fishing.
Yeah.
So the involvement from the community and the businesses in Ballito and Salt Rock and on the North Coast is, I mean, their input's phenomenal. We wouldn't be able to do this without them. So a big thanks to the guys that have sponsored it and put the money in, put the time and the effort in.
Fantastic.
But yeah, look, to give you an idea, I mean, I think...
Yeah, so I mean, myself being in marketing as well, I understand about the amount of coverage that I'd like to give to the people that jump on board, and thanks for having us on the show.
Of course.
You know, the competition 16th to 18th of December, but like Karl said, it's been a tough year. It's been a tough last year as well.
It has, it
We've
has.
actually had 2 of these same competitions this year because we couldn't have one last year.
Okay.
And, you know, from the guys, the Yamaha, the Pulsator lures, the Major Drilling, sorry, I'm just naming a few to really, those guys, when I phone them, come to the party. Yamaha South Africa, did I say that? Penn South Africa. These are big brands that want to, you know, support sort of a little club in Ballito.
That's
And,
fantastic, though.
You know, it goes up to the value of almost 300,000 Rand in prizes now.
Wow.
Yeah, for 31 boats. To
Well,
give you,
considering you say it's a little, that doesn't
yes,
sound...
and it's grown and
It's a
grown
big
and
project.
grown. Yes, and the community loves it, but like Karl said, and I echo his thoughts, if it wasn't for the guys that I've mentioned and a lot more. We're going to have banners and flags around this area that everyone will see. Also on our Instagram page, you can figure out who has sponsored, and they'll definitely get a lot of coverage from me over the next sort of 2 weeks.
Yes.
But yeah, big thank you to them. They've really done a superb job in supporting us.
Phenomenal. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very
And
much.
I look forward to seeing how it goes.
Thank you.
Phenomenal. And I hope we get to have you back again soon. You guys heard it. Check it out on Facebook. And we are going to hop over to a little ad break, and then we will be back. Stick around.
Welcome to Relax Inn. Situated in the heart of KwaZulu-Natal's Dolphin Coast, nestled on 2 acres of beautifully manicured gardens with panoramic ocean views and within walking distance of the pristine shores of Sharkers Rock Beach. Our dine-in restaurant offers a mouth-watering menu and caters not only to hotel guests but local residents too. Our venue is perfect for your fairy tale wedding destination with an outdoor garden chapel seating up to 200 guests and a 300-seater ballroom, ideal for receptions, corporate conferences and functions. Secrets Health, Beauty and Day Spa offers guests the opportunity to escape, unwind and feel rejuvenated. Our accommodation is tailored to the discerning business traveller, holidaymaker and perfectly suited for that romantic getaway. We look forward to welcoming you to the Relax Inn.
Welcome back, my gorgeous and beautiful people, and we are joined once again with Sharon Sinclair from Chandramala. Welcome back, my dear.
Fabulous to be back.
Awesome, as always. Now, what have you got for me today?
Well, today we're going to be talking about why is it so important to rejuvenate, be it self or be it the home. All right. And I see you've chosen the little pink rose quartz.
Yes, I saw it and I just felt the need to pick it up.
Yes.
What is this?
And so the rose quartz is one of the very common crystals that everybody knows of, and you find it in nurseries, etc., that a lot of people put in their garden or in their home. I like to use it actually in my water bowl or my water container, all right? And so even in the fridge, I've got the dispenser, the water dispenser, I'll put a little piece of rose quartz in there.
Wow.
Yes, very, very powerful. Even if you come to my place and you'll see all my bird baths, I've got a little piece of rose quartz in there, and the dogs have got a piece of rose quartz in their water buckets. And so that's part of the rejuvenation. It helps to calm our nervous system, calm the emotions, or any irritation. So dogs that, for instance, have got a little bit of eczema, or even children, drinking rose quartz water would also just help to calm the nervous system and the emotions. And so that's part of rejuvenation. You know, we've got to be a little bit more light and more gentle towards ourselves. Very, very important.
That's fantastic. And at risk of sounding like an absolute moron, I suppose this is just one type of stone. I assume that there are probably, I mean, I've seen other people wearing different stones around their necks for various different things. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, well, there's hundreds of stones out there, and there are even new ones being discovered, which is just unbelievable. And if we actually think of the incredible nature that we have, and the chemical changes that happen in the earth to create all these dynamic different crystals, it's incredible. But each one has got an element to help us rejuvenate and revive ourselves, you know. And so when we look at pollution, helps the aging process. We talk about radiation, that's also not good for us at the end of the day. All the toxins that we eat that come in our food, you know, that's all things that kind of run down the physical body. When we don't eat healthily, like we were talking earlier off the set as well, when we don't eat healthily or we don't drink enough water, our body starts to actually show us the signs, you know. And so some of those crystals and stones can actually help us to rejuvenate on that level. But the rejuvenation is also on a mental level. And so our mind has to play a fundamental role as well in decision making. What do we change about maybe the way that we dress, maybe the way that we think about ourselves. I think also what we feed ourselves, but it's not only what we physically feed ourselves with food, it's what is the circle of friends that we associate with.
Yes.
That is also very important. So do we need to spring clean that? Do we need to declutter that element, you know?
100%.
And I think it's important for us to actually sit down and ask ourselves, so what is important for me? And what is going to make me feel better? And so maybe do I need to have a little bit less wine? Or maybe do I need to cut out the chocolates? Or is it the carbohydrates? Or is it perhaps this one person that I go and visit that I call my friend that is just so negative, and I don't get a chance to speak, and this person consumes the conversation. So I think there's a lot of elements that we need to look at.
It's probably important at some point, quite regularly, for everybody to sit and take stock of everything, mind, body and soul. As you said, the people around you, how are they affecting you? The food that you're eating, the environment that you're living in and working in, as we spoke about last week.
Yes.
These things all have a huge impact on us.
They have a huge impact. And sometimes we want to know why we feel so exhausted and why we feel so tired.
Yes,
I had a
I always
client.
feel tired.
I'm a very busy mom. I'm always tired. Help me, Sharon. Help me.
It's so funny. I actually had a client on the phone yesterday from Cape Town, and she said to me, oh, please, have you got an hour for me? And I said, yes, absolutely. And so she said she's so exhausted. And I mean, that tells you how exhausted she is.
Not just tired, soul exhausted.
And she's finished, and she just looked very drained.
Yes.
And so I said, so what are the current situation and issues that you're dealing with? And she said, staff. Well, that is tiring, you know.
Yeah.
Working with other people, their emotions, their behavior, their belief systems, etc., can be very, very exhausting. So I said to her, she needs
Being
a holiday.
a team player can be difficult.
It can be very challenging, you know. And so especially people that work with a lot of people, how do they rejuvenate, you know? And so Chandramala has partnered with KB Collective now over December month, and so we've got a breathe retreat. And so where people can just relax and breathe.
Yes.
And there's going to be speakers and meditation and also intuitive eating on the retreat as well, which I think is going to be very, very good. And I think I'm going to book myself into that one. And then we've also got with Claudia, that is also on the Ballito show.
Yes, I've seen.
Claudia and myself as well with Unmask Your Mind. It's really important on how do we create a new perception and habit of looking after ourselves. And so Claudia and I have partnered to actually create this relaxing rejuvenation and growth one-day retreat.
And this is all happening through December.
In December.
Which is important because people are always thinking about next year.
Yes.
And all these these resolutions that we make, and how often do we actually see them through?
Yes.
And people can really start taking stock and thinking about, okay, what am I doing to look after myself to make next year's goals actually achievable?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've specifically made sure that all the retreats happen before Christmas so that people can actually enjoy their Christmas and their family time.
Yes, get those positive vibes up.
Absolutely. And not wait for Christmas to detox and to relax and unwind. so that they are ready to be in a good space when they connect with their family.
Yes, it's funny talking about Christmas. It's funny as we want to enjoy, but especially as a mom, so much pressure on trying to create the most amazing experience for your family and for your kids that you end up stressing yourself out so much about it that you end up not really enjoying it. And by the end of Christmas, you're like, I'm exhausted. I didn't actually enjoy it. I was just so stressed about making everybody else happy, making sure the kids were happy, especially as parents.
Absolutely, and all that cooking.
Yes.
And so come to the retreat.
We're going to
retreat before.
Yes, I know. We're not actually hosting Christmas this year. We're going up to my brother's wife's family, and they're hosting us, so we don't have to cook this year.
Oh, wonderful.
Just going to show up.
That's a blessing on its own.
I'm going to sit like Lady Mark.
And be served upon.
Yes. Oh, my sister-in-law is going to love to hear this one.
Fantastic, good for you.
Fantastic, but that is so enlightening. Absolutely love it, and I think it is important heading into the holiday season, really getting those positive celebratory vibes going, and also really setting ourselves up nicely for going into the new year.
Absolutely, absolutely. So don't wait for 2022.
Don't wait. Start preparing now. Get
already.
yourself set up and get yourself ready.
Absolutely.
Well, y'all have heard it. It sounds important. I think I definitely want to get involved in that. So definitely make sure to contact Sharon on Facebook. You can find her. If they look you up, Chandramala,
or under Sharon Sinclair.
Perfecto. Right, you guys know where to find her. It's not difficult. There's no excuse. Look after yourselves and make sure that you have a fantastic Christmas season and start planning your goals for next year. But please stick around with us. We'll be right back after this ad break. Have you heard about Finlay Fuel's program that empowers your small business or your family through a cashback benefit on your monthly fuel spend? I'm excited to tell you that no matter what the size of your small business fleet or the number of cars in your family, all you need to do is simply refuel your vehicle at participating BP service stations countrywide, and the saving of 70 cents per litre on diesel and 13 cents per litre on petrol can be yours. There are no credit checks because the program follows a prepaid model. And voila! Let me show you how easy it is. To sign up, visit www.finlayfuel.co.za. Upon completion of your sign-up, you will receive an SMS notification confirming your membership. Arrive at the BP forecourt, identify yourself as a Finlay Fuel client. Enter your secure PIN into the terminal handed to you by the attendant. The attendant will scan your BP Fleet Move tag and a pre-authorization slip will be issued. Fuel will then be dispensed and a real-time SMS notification will be sent to you confirming the transaction. And off you go.
I'm Monet.
I'm Mandy.
I'm Devon.
And we are
Ballito TV.
We are a streaming channel showcasing content-rich programming that appeals to a wide audience.
Ballito TV officially launched on the 1st of February 2021 and has already attracted over 500,000 viewers worldwide.
Viewers are able to select their preferred device and way in which to watch Ballito TV, either live on our Facebook page, our website, YouTube channel, or by downloading our app free from the Play Store.
Best of all, if you've missed one of our shows, catch up at your own convenience by visiting our catch-up platform on our website and our app.
Ballito TV offers a variety of advertising from as little as 1,000 Rand. So the misconception that advertising through this medium is out of reach for most businesses is totally incorrect.
Get in touch today by emailing hello@ballito.tv or send your name and details to our WhatsApp line on 066 232 1385 and we will give you a call.
glorious people. Now, for the part that I'm always excited about, now this is the Weekend Vibe segment of the show, and this is where we talk about the entertainment happening in our area here on the North Coast and what little I actually am able to mention. So starting today, it's Friday the 3rd. If you're at Hops, Johnny will be entertaining you. However, if you are at Sabiti Country Club at 5:30, Carmen Rodriguez will be there. If you're at Old North and Caribou at 6 p.m, Josh Philander will be there. Now on Saturday the 4th, we have the Sugar Market, which is super exciting. I went to it last time at the Salt Rock Country Club. That starts quite early, so get yourselves down there, be prepared. It's a lot of fun. At Hops, Daniel will be entertaining you. And then we have an all-day event happening at the Ballito Ski Park, and Jason Andrew will be doing your entertainment for most of the day. Then Don Seagreen at 6:30 will be at Sapphire Cove, and then at Shongweni Farmers Market, this is a little bit outside of town, we have Seb Goldswain. Then on Sunday, fun day, now I think I mentioned this last time, we have the Bootleggers Battle of the Voice starting at 1 p.m. Then at Soul Sunday Sessions at Crusaders, Rob Warren and friends will be taking the entire show. That's free entrance starting at 1. Then at Hops, James will be entertaining you. Now, before we close, I must mention again, happening this weekend, we spoke about it last week, we have the Seaweed Music Festival. Now, something I didn't mention last time is where it's happening. And this is happening Angels Way up in Eston, in KZN. So guys, get yourselves out there. Holy absolutely moly, that is going to be epic. It's a music festival for music lovers. Get out there, have some fun. And that brings us to the end of the show, everyone, and I must thank our guests, our viewers, our sponsors for making this all possible. And we are going to be joining our usual music video showcase, and please stick around. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again soon. I was supposed to ask you how to pronounce that.
Gespeel op vaste lande, selfs 'n eiland hier en daar. Mense op my pad het ek voor baie lief geraak. Om elke hoek en draai. Ek het my hart verloor in die Vrystaat, ook in Mosselbaai. Op haar strand het ek verlang, ek het jou gaan soek daar in die baai. Om elke hoek en draai. As jy langs my staan. As die bees begin dans. Vat jy my terug na die ou dae, die jong dae, ons lekker vry op skool daar. Vat jy my terug na die rockshows en DJ's en vat jy vat op die punt, wat hou jy daar die jaar? As jy langs my staan. As die bees begin dans. Klein Karl, dit was nat daar jaar. En jy my hart kom steel, met jou glimlach staan jy daar. Onthou jy daar die dag. Jy is my sydekruis as ek verdwaal, as ek my rigting verloor. Jy is my hand in die donker, jy is die stem wat ek wil hoor. Jy het met my hart kom door. As jy langs my staan. As die bees begin dans. Vat jy my terug na die ou dae, die jong dae, ons lekker vry op skool daar. Vat jy my terug na die rockshows en DJ's en vat jy vat op die punt, onthou jy daar mens begin dans. Vat jy my terug na die ou dae, die